Okay, guys, it's still early in the morning here, kind of.
In where are we? We're at Framus's factory.
Well, it's in the deepest Saxony.
That's it. Yeah.
Deepest east of Germany here.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's still, what is it, like 11 in the morning?
Still something like that. Yeah, we've had a couple of coffees.
Yeah.
We've had a little bit of breakfast, then a rush time to get here, set up the room so we could start shooting some vids.
Yeah, and we thought the early time of the day is the best time to learn some new stuff. So that's why we sat here and did a little jam, and now I hope to learn something from this guy.
And I hope to learn something from this beautiful Ben. Oh, yes.
Okay, because I really feel we play pretty different, but then again we don't play pretty different.
But that's the awesome thing. So the cool thing about the whole thing is that Michael is an unbelievably good blues player, and I'm just like a shred dude. But when you boil down to everything that I do, it all stems from the blues anyway. So I just play the blues but fast, you know. So, apart from
exactly, and you mix in some scales I don't even know the name of. You're totally honest.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So that's the cool thing. So when we do jam, which we've jammed quite a lot, haven't we? Not just today, but throughout the things that we've done with Hughes and Kettner, we enjoy a good jam and stuff. So it's just cool to sit and play some cool rock riffs and just shred out.
Yeah.
You know?
So maybe you start to tell me a little bit more about your philosophy of playing. Like where do you come from, and what led you to being the player that you are today?
Okay, so the main thing. Okay, so let's start with. I was brought up on Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana. I was brought up on all the grunge bands from the 90s because my dad's a massive Pearl Jam fan, right? I mean, Pearl Jam are my favourite band in the entire world. I have lyrics tattooed on me. I'm a big Pearl Jam fan, right? So the first guy to ever sort of really get me into the playing side of things was Mike McCready from Pearl Jam, right? So, and with that ethos, when it comes from Mike McCready and stuff, you know, it's the stuff, and
so also the classic kind of rock guitar vocabulary.
Exactly, and you know, he's just a pentatonic dude, and that's where it came from. And then I started to realise that, you know, other really sort of influential guitar players in my life, like Zakk Wylde and stuff like that, were just using majority of the pentatonic stuff. Yeah. And it just kept on snowballing from there, and I figured out that it wasn't because the pentatonic was like the most easily accessible thing. It was because all the players that I love and listen to, apart from now, were using pentatonic only. If I listen to all the bands that I love listening to, like Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and stuff like that, when they were playing solos, it was just all pentatonic stuff. And that's what really, really got me into, like, okay, I want to make sure that I've got the pentatonic down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure that my knowledge of all 5 shapes is down. And that's where it came from. And then most recently, I've started to really get into, you know, making sure that my shred technique and stuff is really good. And you can do that with the pentatonic stuff, like Zakk Wylde and stuff. But you have to evolve and adapt and add some new stuff to the playing.
Yeah, and that's, I think that's really interesting to me, because when you really put the pedal to the floor and really start this fast stuff, it sounds amazing, and it but I don't even quite know what you're doing there. Yeah. So can you like walk me through a little bit what you're doing with all the 3-note per string stuff, because I'm a 2-note per string guy. I've always been, and I never got into this 3-note per string stuff, and maybe you can show me, like, what exactly are you doing, like in super slow mo?
Oh, of course. So let's take my favorite at the moment, my favorite mode of all time, and my favorite sounding mode, because I feel as if you can use it. If you use it tastefully, you can use it in, like, any sort of minor key jam and stuff like that, is Phrygian. Okay? Yeah. So my favourite sound is that, because I am just obsessed with the whole sort of Egyptian-y vibe to it. Yeah. So if we go with that, we'll work with that. And it's nice to see, because I can start on the 12th fret as well, so it's easy to see. So what it is the 3-note per string Phrygian scale. I start on the A string. You should start on the obviously the root, but I just start on the A string just because it's easier for me.
Okay, can you play it first and really fast, so that we already know what it should sound like in the end, and then, like, break it down.
Okay, all right. So as I said, it is early. I've only just started playing right now, so let's see if I can even get this down. Okay.
That's frighteningly fast. That's
So,
okay. So
that's that's it fast. And what I've worked out recently, due to just sitting there and practice, is the descending version of it as well. So that's obviously the ascending, and then you can actually do the descending version as well. And then that allows me to mix the ascending with the descending, and then you get like this monster shred lick.
Just go endlessly up.
Exactly.
Up and down and shred for as long as you want, or as long as your fingers allow it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the scale is from the 12th fret on the A string. I'm not going to name out all the notes because it's just too long.
Yeah.
But it's this. So, and then you just end on the root wherever you want to actually end on the root. So once again.
So still in the key of E, right? Yeah.
And then that just allows you to, you know, as you said, what we were talking about this morning, sitting in front of the TV and just being, you know, just running the scale, and then and just running the scale in front of the TV allows you to, you know.
So, and that was kind of your way to being as fast as you are now. It's like just
it's muscle
sitting
memory.
in front of the TV and doing it all over and all over again.
There was a period. It was watching Yngwie Malmsteen do the descending lick in Phrygian, and starting off with like going. You know, like when he does it and he's like getting ready for it, and it's like, oh, he's gonna, and then it's like
with the tremolo picking.
And doing that was metronomed, only for the reason that I never learned. I always done ascending stuff. I never done descending stuff. So because it was teaching my fingers to go the opposite way instead of going really fast that way, but to come back down the other way, it was. For me, I was like, oh God, I can't do it fast at all. Like I was like, because my fingers kept on wanting to go forward even though I was going the opposite way. So it was like, what are you doing, sort of thing. So that is when I sat with a metronome. Dick, dog, dog, dog. And then that's when. And then I can change at will now, you know, because I know both up and down.
Actually, I did exactly this yesterday in my hotel room in front of the TV to get me started on this, because you really kind of inspired me to get faster again. That is what I can put forward in terms of, you know, where I have evolved from going from to doing the shred stuff. And I'm still stuck with the first part.
But that's what I want to get to with you, because so the way that I see it, right, is that I've been playing guitar. I'm 27 and I've been playing guitar 11 years, I want to say. So with the one thing I always struggled with and only started to grasp slowly recently is timing in blues playing.
Timing in blues playing. Okay,
rhythm and timing in blues playing. It always comes across so much better when you're, you know, it's fine to sit on your own and be like, As soon as you have a backing track on with a rhythm and you go, you can't go through the entire track just doing that, you know. If you can, the greats have done it, but I mean, if you have a sense, if you bring that rhythm and you bring that timing into the playing as well, like you do so well.
Thanks, man.
So this is my question to you. Okay.
Timing. Actually, it was always pretty tough for me. It started off like with AC/DC, and their groove is like a massive part. Like when you really want to nail those riffs, but I didn't ever really practice it, and so I really kind of struggled with keeping the time and playing on a metronome, because I never practiced with a metronome. I was always a pretty lazy player. I had a decent timing when it came to solo playing, because I did it so much. But actually, I would love to tell you otherwise, but I needed the metronome then.
Yeah. So for the lead rhythm playing, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It kind of mixes. It goes all together. Because I don't really see now. I don't really make a distinction between like lead playing or because when you play stuff like this. Sort of the playing that I like, it's sort of, you can't really tell is it rhythm or is it lead?
Like the whole Hendrix vibe to it.
And so what really got my timing on the next level were some pretty fucked up exercises.
Okay.
Especially, you ever heard of an outclick?
I remember you talking to me about this, but no, I completely forgot about it. So what is outclick?
It sucks.
It sucks.
It really does, but it's so effective. So the basic idea is you take a click like on 60, but you think in 120. So if this is the click, you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and with that your click is on the downbeat, right? On 1 and 3.
Yeah.
And then you try to think the click on 4 on 2 and 4 and. So if that's a click, I go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I try to play with that. And the thing is, it's so counterintuitive that if you manage to stay on that click, you can't bullshit. With that click, you can't bullshit yourself. Like,
no, if you're out, you are out.
You're totally out because it's so counterintuitive. With a normal click, you can always bullshit yourself back into it. But when you use an out click, you can't.
Yes.
And so this is what I had to practice for university. Actually, I had to do this for one of my guitar exams, and I think that was the most beneficial thing ever.
And I think it's time for me to do some out click training when I get back. Yeah.
Really sucks. So again, you take a click. Would recommend on 60. And you think of the click as being on 4 and 2 and inside of your bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then you try to play your stuff on it. Your like riffs and stuff. And then you really then have kind of your drum machine going in your hand. And then you can stay in time, even playing. Play stuff like that, just play, and you can just stay in time.
Yes, that is what that is what I would love to be able to do. So yeah,
totally. And then of course with all the blues riffs.
Yeah.
So that would be the way to go. There are people who just have a great timing.
Yes, they just have that good groove.
And I hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these natural assholes.
Yeah.
But most of us struggle, and I think it's a great topic because very little guitarists even bring it up.
Yeah, I mean the thing with the shred style guitar sort of playing, you have to take into consideration that sometimes the rhythm always grooves, but the rhythm isn't necessarily something that you need to take into consideration when you're playing, not fast all the time, but like a shred guitar solo. You know, you start with some melody and you slowly build it up to when you're doing the fast stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not something that you need to sit in the pocket with. It's just about creating a specific tonal vibe.
So you don't even really like when you play the really fast stuff, you don't even think in time.
No, you don't think about, unless you think in time in terms of like, okay, I'm listening to the rhythm guitar, I know when it's going to come back on beat on the root, I'm going to end there.
And so you're aiming on certain notes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm not like, okay, so I need this bit to be in time with that bit and all that sort of stuff. It's about if you're going to run the whole scale, fair enough. Then if you're going to run the whole scale, then you can think like, okay, I can hear, like yesterday when I'd done that when we were jamming in A, and I'd done that really large Mixolydian lick, and I ended. It was going for a while, and I decided like to change and go, okay, I can hear that he's not going to end on the root now, so I'll make sure that I change and adapt and go a couple more notes just so that I end on the root.
Okay.
So that's the way it works for me in the shred stuff, because I know that if I'm going to run that whole 3 note per string riff or lick, it's going to be all in key. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really necessarily mean that I have to, you know, adapt to what you're playing. I just need to make sure that I end on a specific time. He's going to finish now. I should end on the note, on the root note now.
Ah, okay.
Whereas the other stuff that I do with the bluesy licks and stuff, I want to be able to outline the rhythm. So when I'm playing on my own, like you did that really fucking great lead playing you just did, when you're playing on your own, I can hear your engine.
Yeah.
You know, I can hear what you're doing.
The drummer in the back
Exactly.
of our head.
And I can do the I can do the vibe thing on my own like that, but it's when you go to the lead stuff, you know, that's when I really have to I really have to think, you know, and that's what I want to be able to do effortlessly, just like what you do.
I think one of the keys for that is also to being able to think in melodies.
Sure.
Like thinking like a singer. I mean, if I have a groove going, and
there we go. If I just give you just some,
like just some basic shuffle in A maybe. And can try to think, what would a singer do now? Like. So
I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I get exactly what you mean. You only need to play the first couple of lines lead style over the A to notice that it needs to be, you know, it's not about, you know,
exactly.
It's about it's exactly this. It's the age-old thing of saying, stop shouting at me, just talk to me.
Exactly. Yeah. And my recommendation is when people are kind of stuck in their licks, then my recommendation would be take a backing track that you like and put the guitar aside. And even if you can't sing, just stand there and try to think of a...
You know, just literally sit there.
What would you do if you were the singer of a blues band? And then sing something. And when you came up with some pretty decent stuff, you can then try to play it on the guitar and mix it up with all of the great licks that you have. I'm not saying that you only should play like solos everybody could sing, because I mean, we have the guitar, we can that's pretty cool, and nobody can sing that.
Exactly.
But when you're able to like mix up all the fast licks with the melody lines, then you get to a point where you really can like play melodic in any style.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's it, really, isn't it? It's like, so I've explained where I come from, and you've explained where you sort of come from, and I really, really hope that you guys, when you watch it, kind of try and take something from Michael and try and take something from me, and see if you can evolve as players as well, because that's what it's all about. It's all about learning from each other. At the end of the day.
Totally. And one thing is we both like put the time in, like
exactly. That's there's no like I want to sit down and start shredding. I want to sit down and start playing blues. It's not, how long have you been playing guitar for?
I've been playing since I was 11, so 17 years now.
17 years. I mean that and it shows. And I've been playing 11 years, and we sit in our rooms and we ran the scales, we played the riffs. So just put in some work and you'll get that 100%. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Oh man.
Great, man. Thanks.
Always good. Always good. Always good. Anyway, we've got loads more videos to shoot today here at Framus on behalf of Hughes and Kettner. Obviously, checking out the brand new Black Spirit 200. So, so we should get some more people in.
Yeah, so you're definitely gonna see some more of Joss and me. And but for this video, we're signing out.
Cheers, guys.
Großartig.